to use OpenClaw as a complete noob. If you clicked on this video, you are probably completely new to OpenClaw. Maybe you heard that it is powerful and maybe someone said that it automates AI, but honestly you have no idea where to start, and that is completely fine, because in this video I'm going to explain OpenClaw in the simplest way possible. No technical jargon and no advanced talk, just beginner level explanation. By the end of this video, you will understand what OpenClaw does and how to think about it, and how to use it step by step even if you're a complete noob or a beginner. Let's simplify everything step by step. First, let's actually talk about what OpenClaw is. OpenClaw is not just a chatbot. It's not something you open and casually type questions into like ChatGPT or Google Gemini. OpenClaw is more like a manager for AI. It allows you to create step-by-step instructions that AI follows automatically without you having to manually guide it every single time. Think of it like this. Normally, if you want AI to help you write a blog, you would type one prompt, wait for the answer, and then type another prompt, wait again, and keep going step by step. Now, OpenClaw removes that repetition. You define all of these steps once and it runs them automatically in order. And that's it. That's the core idea. Now, as a complete beginner, the most important thing you need to understand is that OpenClaw works using tasks and workflows. A task is just one instruction that you can type in the chat box. You can simply just ask it to give you or just generate 5 YouTube video ideas about fitness, and that is a task. It's going to provide you with 5 ideas. Just like that, it gave you an AI generated response like any other tool. Now, if you talk about a workflow that OpenClaw is best at, that is when you connect multiple tasks together, just like the video ideas that we got. Now, the next thing that we probably need to do according to a workflow is going to pick the most viral idea from the 5. Now, once we do, we need a 10-minute script over it. Then we need a thumbnail, then we need to post it with a proper caption, and then we also need social media captions to promote it. And instead of doing this all manually, OpenClaw is going to run all of it automatically from start to finish, simply by automation. It is like building a domino effect of instruction. Now, as a noob, your first instinct might be to automate your entire life. Don't. Start with something small, pick one simple repetitive task, and maybe you just type Instagram captions often, then create blog outlines regularly. Maybe draft your emails, write product descriptions, summarize the articles, whatever it is, just choose to one. The goal is to understand the structure, not to build something huge immediately. Now, we're gonna move on to the next step and break our task into baby steps. This is where beginners really struggle, because instead of saying make a blog, you need to think smaller. Break it into simple steps like generate a blog, title idea, and then your next step is probably going to create an outline. You can simply even manually ask AI to do this, and then you would want to create it into a full article, and then you would want to write a short summary. Now, each of these becomes a separate task inside OpenClaw, and once you connect them together, you've created your first workflow, and that is literally how you start as a beginner. Now, you need to write a clear instruction. This is basically everything. This is also something most noobs don't realize, that OpenClaw is only as good as your instructions. It's not going to automatically enhance your prompt or just give you really amazing output based off of your instructions, even if they're not that clear. Now, if you're just going to ask AI to write you a blog, you'll get just random output, or you may not get anything. But if you write a 1,000-word beginner-friendly blog post in a controversial tone, with headings and subheadings, explaining the topic clearly, now that is giving a clear direction. The clearer your instruction, the better the output. So think of it like explaining a task to a new employee, and if you're vague, they'll just guess, and if you're specific, they'll actually perform better. Now, OpenClaw is all about connecting the AI. You don't need to overthink this. You can just connect it to an AI model using an API key. Now, as a beginner, you don't need to understand deep technical details yet. Just know this, that OpenClaw sends your instructions to the AI processes them, and OpenClaw receives the response and moves to the next task automatically. It is just like how a network is built and worked. OpenClaw is the organizer and the AI is the thinker. That's the relationship and that is it. You can go over to your channels and simply just connect your applications. So if you're connected to your clients and you have conversations with your clients through WhatsApp, then you would want to connect your WhatsApp with OpenClaw. That way you can send an automated text as soon as your client or new customer reaches out. That is just going to send an automated text message immediately. That is the best way to let your client know that you will reach out shortly. Now, once your tasks are connected, run the workflow and watch what happens. You'll see that your first task is completed, the second task uses that result, the third task is going to build on it, and so on. If something looks weird, you don't have to panic. That is completely normal if that's your first time. You can go back and adjust a specific task that caused the issue. Maybe your instructions weren't clear enough, and refining is just part of learning. As a complete beginner, you'd also like to start by running workflows manually. That is fine. Now, once you come out of that chat box and just run your instructions, you would want to automate once you're comfortable. You can set it to just run automatically when something happens, like when new data is added, or just on a daily schedule when a form is submitted. But you don't need to rush into that yet. Master manual workflow first, and that is going to do it for you. Now, common mistakes that noobs make are just trying to build a 10-step workflow on day one. Just start with manual workflow and try having small conversations with the bot so you know that it does work like ChatGPT, but it can also build automated workflows and more complex automations. Now, writing vague instructions is also very beginner-friendly mistake that you might make. Just write the instructions clear and simple. Another mistake that noobs might do is not testing outputs properly. If you're not testing your workflows out, just know that it might build up over complex problems once you move on to the bigger automation. And remember, automation is built through small improvements. It's not magic, it's basically structure, so you need to improve and grow as you go up gradually. Now, even as a noob, OpenClaw teaches you something important, that systems thinking. Instead of doing tasks repeatedly, you start thinking, how can I structure this once so it runs automatically? And that shift in thinking saves massive time long term. You start working harder and you start working much smarter. Now, if you're watching this and wondering what to build first, here's an easy idea just to test it out. You can create a workflow that generates 3 content ideas, write a short post, and it just creates hashtags. That is it. These steps are just clean, simple, and effective. Master that and then you can simply expand. Now, if you're a complete noob, then here's all you need to remember. OpenClaw is not a chatbot, it is an automation system. You create tasks, you connect them into workflows, you write clear instructions, you test and refine, and then you automate. That is the entire process. Start small and then improve gradually, scale later. If this helped you understand OpenClaw as a complete beginner, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of the AI automation tutorials or guides. Comment below if you have any questions or want more videos on AI tools like this. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.